Hi, James Brown here. Thanks for reading and listening. One of the best parts of my job is I get to meet people who are truly excellent at their work, including Grammy-winning composer, conductor, and musician Jeff Tyzik. He spent a half-century as an acclaimed performer and writer, leading more than 50 orchestras around the world, working in just about any circumstance, from crowded amphitheaters to in front of no one during the COVID-19 pandemic. I asked him, what's the difference?
When you're playing for no one, you're totally focused on the musicians in front of you. And you're concentrating on doing what we need to do together to make this music come alive. And it can be, you're not distracted by anything else. You're not distracted by any person, by any visual that's going on. It's like you're in a recording studio and you're totally focused on the music. So you can create really great music that way, and the musicians communicate with each other as they do. In a full house, there's a new element. If you imagine, here's the orchestra, and here is the audience, and here is the conductor. I'm in the middle between the orchestra and the audience. And the energy that flows between the orchestra and the audience is just unbelievable, because even if people are not, in a pop concert, if somebody plays a jazz solo, people are going to applaud during the piece, that kind of a thing. But if we're playing some big classical piece, people are going to applaud at the end, not take part. But you can still feel the energy in the room of the listeners. If you are tweaking the listeners, you can feel their emotion, their energy, even if they're not applauding or yelling or something, So that experience takes it to a whole new level, because humans are, we're putting out this ethereal thing called sound, and that is touching the spirit and the soul of the people in the room, and there is an energy coming back, and I'm standing right in the middle of it. So that is electric. When it's a sparse house, I think there is a tendency when musicians walk out on stage, at first, they're like, oh, it's a small crowd tonight, for about 2 minutes. And then everybody is like, you know what? It doesn't matter if there's one person out there. We're going to play our hearts out for that one person, and then you kind of get to that place where you might think initially you might feel, well, there's not going to be as much energy in the room, but it's kind of a hybrid sort of between the huge crowd and the nobody, and then you work the energy. The energy is still palpable in that group of people. And sometimes a smaller crowd is even more effusive than a large crowd. It's hard to pick on it. So to me, look, to walk on stage is a privilege. It always has been. To get to walk into a room and create sound and touch the human spirit of whoever's in the room is a privilege to get to do that. So to me, it's always a special experience, but there are these elements that make them each unique.
Part 1 of this conversation is available now at jamesbrowntv.substack.com and anywhere you get your podcasts.